today is part 3 of child labor laws of India, and as we were discussing previously, the family enterprise exception. So difference between helping and child labor law, difference between helping and child labor is that the most challenging legal question was determining where the assistance ends and exploitation begins. Now the family enterprise exception, that is assisting in a family enterprise by children, is allowed only when there is no coercion, no economic exploitation, task is light and safe, and the work is occasional, and it is light, work is occasional, and school attendance is regular, and the health is not affected, education is not affected. So the courts and authorities, they examine the actual circumstances, and they do not just merely accept the family description of the arrangement. Now, why the family enterprise exception was introduced by the lawmaker is that India's economy involves, and India's economy is based on a million of small family-run enterprises. Most of the household depends on the small retail shops, stationery shops, and street vending, agriculture activities, traditional occupation, handicraft units, and home-based enterprises. So it was that the lawmakers recognized the family enterprise exception, that the occasional participation in this setup will differ from the commercial exploitation, and supporters argued that the children must also learn the traditional family skills, understand the traditional business or occupation of the family, and they will gain, they will develop a responsibility and gain the practical exposure continuing with the education. So the family enterprise exception, the goal to introduce family enterprise exception was that to accommodate the social realities with maintaining the safeguards. Now the criticism that the family enterprise exception received was that first is the hidden child labor, that is most of these small family enterprise run in the informal sectors where there is no inspection, then there is lack of monitoring, and there is the school dropouts and economic pressure due to the financial hardship. Many of the family relies on children's earning. Now international perspective of family enterprise exception, the children working in family enterprise exception is an international perspective, which globally the labor laws they focus mostly on the impact of work rather than the existence of work. They take into consideration the nature of work, duration, safety conditions, the circumstances of family, educational status, health status of child, and child welfare. They focus on this. So the main goal of the child labor laws with the introduction of family enterprise exception was to eliminate the harmful and exploitative labor, child labor, and with that recognizing a limited occasional participation in family enterprise that may exist in the cultural and economic context. Now the important cases in India, the important landmark judgments are, one is that, first of all, the Indian court's emphasis on child welfare, acknowledging the socio-economic realities. Now one of the cases, MC Mehta versus State of Tamil Nadu, where the judgment was that the child labor, there is a connection between poverty and child labor. Many of the families in India rely on children's earning due to the financial hardship. So the court addresses and focuses on the rehabilitation of children and nutrition. And the second case is one of the cases, court on its own motion versus government of NCT Delhi, where it is said that just merely removing children from the work is insufficient. The authorities must also address poverty, family welfare, and the government support. They must approach to government support schemes like Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan. Then we all know RT, right to education. Then there is PM Poshan portal, PM Poshan scheme, Pencil portal, and the child helpline number 1098. And now we have also another number, that is you can dial 112. And now the approach, that is the court has adopted a balanced approach. That is, they take into consideration the nature of work, child's age, child's capacity, duration, health conditions, family circumstances, safety, child welfare is the main focus of the Indian courts, is to see that the child welfare is being protected. Then they take into consideration the nutrition, recreation. Now, the practical compliance tips for the family business enterprises is to maintain a record. એ લોકો પાસે જે ફેમિલી એન્ટરપ્રાઇઝીસ રન કરે છે ને ચિલ્ડ્રન એમના ઘરના છોકરાઓનું થોડુંક ઓકેશનલ પાર્ટિસિપેશન જ્યાં થતું હોય તો એ લોકોએ એક રેકોર્ડ મેન્ટેન કરવો જોઈએ કે સ્કૂલ અટેન્ડન્સ રેગ્યુલર છે એનું એમની પાસે રેકોર્ડ હોવો જોઈએ. દેન દે શુડ ડોક્યુમેન્ટ ધ ફેમિલી રિલેશનશિપ that our family enterprise is genuinely it is a family owned occupation, and hazardous activities are prohibited. Restrict the work hours, 1 or 2 hours માટે છોકરાઓને તમે ઘરના છોકરાઓને તમે ફેમિલી બિઝનેસમાં ઇન્વોલ્વ કરી શકો. એન્ડ ધ હોમવર્ક શુડ બી કમ્પ્લીટ એન્ડ મેન્ટેન ધ ચાઇલ્ડ વેલફેર. દેટ ઇઝ દે શુડ ફોકસ ઓન ધ રેસ્ટ, recreation, study time and nutrition of children. Now, what we can say that the conclusion is that of overall conclusion of this Indian child labor laws and family enterprise exception is that the key principle is that helping is not same as working. So please do like, share and subscribe my channel. I do provide you all important legal informations. I hope you liked my today's video. Now we shall be continuing tomorrow the child labor laws of India and family enterprise exception part 4, the total practical scenario. Okay.